Again, my name is John Alexander, and I've been teaching real estate investing for many years, and we have basically put together, or basically reinstituted, a program that I created back in the late 90s, which allowed an investor to go out and flip a property without using any of their own money, without using any of their own cash. And we did this by being able to contract a house at whatever you can negotiate with a seller, and then use owner financing, basically create a temporary owner finance situation on this property, and then at closing cash that note out, thereby being able to pick up the cash needed to go ahead and pay the seller your cash offer for the house, and then also have cash for your profit. So this was a unique system and allowed an instantaneous flip. You don't have to hold on to property, you don't have to buy it and close it, you don't have to go get a loan for it in your name, you don't have to put up earnest money. I mean, we have got such a great system worked out to buy and sell houses, and I've been teaching this for the last 8 years. Well, right now, with the new market the way it is and the toughness that's out there facing people who are trying to get a mortgage, we've gone back and pulled back in our note purchase system again. Now, what we were doing up until this point a few months ago is we were just continuing, and we had subprime lenders out there that could fund our deals for us, and we've been using them for 4 or 5 years now. But now that the market has tightened up, now that they pulled pretty much the subprime off the market, what we did is we went back to our roots and we instituted the note program again. Well, this makes it very easy to go out there, buy properties, resell properties using owner financing. There's so many people out there who have already given up on the idea of even getting a mortgage, so they're looking for that now. And this allows you to come in there and buy and sell properties using this system and our private investor funds in order to do that. So our private investor is ready and willing to buy this note that you're going to create with your end buyer right at closing. So the idea here is, again, you find a buyer, you process in their buyer application into our private investor. They're going to say yay or nay on that buyer, so you know if you've got an acceptance or not. And by the way, side note, we pretty much run over a 50% approval rating on these submissions. So just to let you know how many number-wise that we actually are able to approve, giving you an idea of just how many deals out there just waiting for you to go out there and put together. So on the other side of this, we've got sellers who are willing right now to walk away from a lot of equity. And that means you pick up that equity, and when you owner finance to somebody, you get to ask tip-top price. In fact, they don't even negotiate price with you. They just pay you what the fair market value of the property. So you're going to make this spread between whatever you negotiate with a seller for and what you turn around and flip to the end buyer with. We have a new program, and I mentioned this at the start of the call tonight, also that our investors are now putting up the money for as well, and that is to buy these short sales that are out there. There's a tremendous number of people in foreclosure right now. They're literally upside down on their home. They are walking away from their home. But what their bank will do right now is the bank will drop what the payoff to them is. So whatever the current payoff that they owe the bank, even if they're upside down, the bank will come back and negotiate a much lower payoff amount. Generally, right now, what they're doing is they're negotiating down to about 50% of the fair market value of that property, which means you can go in and pick up a short sale property at 50% off, turn around and flip it to somebody that you get approved through our program, or by the way, any program. But if you get them approved through one of the other programs, you can come back in and use our lenders, our investors' money to make that original purchase from the bank. And the reason why you have to have money in order to do this is the banks won't allow you to flip and use the end buyer's loan in order to make that original purchase. So flipping using just one source of funds, which is basically how we do it on our traditional flip, or what we call the inverse purchase, you can't do that on short sales. So our investor has funds available to you, unlimited funds basically, to go in there and use these funds to make that purchase and the resale. Now, here's what they do. if you bring in the buyer is pre-approved. Let's say the buyer is pre-approved through FHA or whatever other loan that you might have gotten them pre-approved through. What you're doing is using our funds for about a day is kind of what it works out to. So what our investor does is they charge you 1% of the amount of money that you're borrowing. Now you don't need to pay that obviously until closing, but now you're sitting on a profit. So if you're buying a property at 50 cents on the dollar, you're selling it at even 90 or 100% of fair market value. You're earning that full spread in between there, and you're only paying the 1%. So on a $200,000, $300,000 note or mortgage that you're or house that you're buying, you're paying $2,000 or $3,000 to use this money for one day. All the rest of that profit, which could be $50,000, $100,000, whatever it happens to be, that's all your profit. So there's a major opportunity right now in these short sales. Now let me give you a little balance here, because right now we see, and if you've watched the news lately, you're seeing right now what's going on is that Bernanke and Paulson are before Congress right now trying to get them to agree to a deal right now called that $700 billion bailout. Well, part of what that bailout is going to do is start to take away and make it easier for sellers to hold on to the property or save their deal. Now, that's not put together right now, and it will probably take months, if not a year, to get it all settled out and figured out. In the meantime, people are going to continue to lose their homes, and these short sales are going to continue to be there. So right now is the time to hit this thing and hit it hard, because we don't know how long these short sales are going to last at 50% value. So once they come in, it may raise the stakes back up, because now the government can sit on these loans and then feed them out. Probably won't even go directly to the public anymore. They'll sell them off like they did back in the 90s through the RTC, which means they'll bundle everything up and sell them off to some big investor. They then make all the money. Right now, an individual investor can step in this market and take advantage of it. So you have an opportunity here, and you know, in the real estate market, it's always about what window is open right now for you to step in and make a lot of money. And right now, the short sale window is open, and business is good for people doing this type of transaction. So this is part of what this is one of our new programs we're adding into the mix as of this week, on top of all of our other programs, on top of teaching you how to go out there and flip without using your money, on top of being able to go out there and offer owner financing, which our investor also buys those notes as well, so you can flip to a variety of people out there who are being